This one promises to be an absolute banger, so let's see what happens. Game 1. In the bottom left now, in the blue, he is teamless for the moment, SKillous. And they have a right in the red again for AlphaX. He's looking pretty good right now. It's Astrea. Well, the waste expansion, of course, Grumpage, was not because of the food I ate eating out. It was the food I cooked myself because of my lack of ability to cook things that were a little like I just didn't have the implements and I didn't want to just eat a salad. I cooked too much pasta. It's a mistake I made once in my life and never again. But this game, it's gonna be single gate expand coming in from both sides. Astrea and SKillous both not really successful in denying that expansion all that much, which is good for them, right? You don't have this weird, well, we're both going for the same build, but your probe was more effective at denying the base than my probe was, so actually you're about 30 seconds behind. In fact, the builds are very, very mirrored, which is something you always got to be worried about, or I mean, worried about is not quite fair. You got to pay attention to, because then you can very much see players opt into Phoenix Wars, although it's SKillous. Piling on the map here. He's sending the probe back home, though, so I think this is just going to be, well, it's a Schrodinger pylon type idea, just saying, hey, Astrea, I have one less pylon on my base than you would expect, but also, well, okay, no. But also, of course, this is going to be a spot for maybe a depths to warp in, things like that. I love it. I just got a text from quote-unquote Amazon saying, hey, your account has been locked. And it's from a super sus. It says, oh, click on this link to go to zii.to/news-updates to make sure that your Amazon account does not get permanently blocked. Which is hilarious. So Stark's moving out the map from SKillous. Again, this pylon is really not doing all that much. But SKillous does have his Twilight just a little bit faster because, well, Astrea did commit to that shield battery in the mineral line. So that slows down the mineral income just a little bit. This is a weird wall from Astrea, though. It feels like it almost is just a bit of a bait because you run in like that. It's like there's just, it's a kettle that you can just put a force field right here and kill off a couple units. But for right now, Stalker's being forward, and it's Stalker Sentry versus double Stalker, so that is certainly a setup that wins for Astrea. So he's gonna have to run back a little bit, you know, set himself up. Dark's from Astrea now, running forward. Blink on the way for both sides. SKillous will have his faster marginally, but in exchange, Astrea has bought himself a little bit more safety, but also a little bit of a worker lead. Again, nothing really big, because right now both players, we can call these functionally mirrored builds. Now, of course, we do see SKillous' third base, behind the fact that his blink is faster. His third base will also be much faster as well, but Astrea adding in a couple more gateways. Okay, so he's going to go up to 4-gate robo before that third base goes down, and I think that, I don't know, does he drop a couple more when the hallucination leaves his base? Does he get more aggressive? I don't think so. Given the game state, yeah, and it probably goes out to take the third base now, but the third base of SKillous is halfway done. We're already in a situation where, well, SKillous has just bought himself a lead. He's up 3 probes. He's got his third base much, much faster, which means that he will have a stronger mid-game composition. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. His Forge on the way as well, and those were the first, yeah, those are the 2 gateways that were getting made, so it's not like Astrea has any sort of pushing opportunity here. Not really. His blink is slower, his +1. Well, there's going to be a window, of course, where SKillous does not have +1, and Astrea also doesn't. But it really does just feel that SKillous' build is a bit cleaner. Well, maybe Astrea running across the map here. He's up 7 army supply. Blinks forward, gets a stalker, gets a second before SKillous can react. Oh, well, gets 1.5, and the sentry will fall as well. But shield battery overcharge not quite popped here, and it's 12 stalkers to 10 stalkers. Blink. Ooh, SKillous a bit ballsy with this one. I don't know that I like this. I mean, yeah, he's got defender's advantage, but technically this is something that should favor Astrea. It's Astrea's server, and Astrea had more stalkers, but despite that, it seems like, well, it was okay for SKillous. We don't have a battle report. But 7 stalkers have died to 7. The big difference, of course, is the sentries. This pylon on the map will now go down as well. But again, SKillous, his economy going like bad gangbusters. He's up 4 workers. Now charge on the way. +1 just about done for SKillous. Not only does he have, well, equal amount of stalkers, but not only does he have that third base much quicker to build more stalkers, although Astrea's actually caught up a little bit in workers. His stalkers are going to be better, but Astrea doing a great job of maintaining agency on the map. He's doing a great job of keeping SKillous back at home, even with that lead. But also, the stalkers are going to draw SKillous' stalkers on the map a little bit further, which guess what, folks? There's a warp prism behind the mineral line. We're going to have to see how much this can get done. Is this going to be a couple of depths warping in? Okay, stalkers warping in defensively. Probes get pulled away. Stalkers in the middle map from SKillous not really doing anything for the moment. Well, adept number 1 will die. Target fire a couple probes down into the main base is going to go, and, well, there's a stalker that's going to warp in, but it's going to get another probe or 2. So, on the whole, really not all that bad there for Astrea. He's going to get 2 probes. Actually, he's going to get 3 in the main. So, hey, 5 probes die, but SKillous now onto the other side of the map with that +1, trying to leverage this advantage that he's built for himself. I don't think that he has the warp-ins, though. Well, no, okay, he does. The shield, or the warp, oh, wow, the warp prism is right there. SKillous behind this 4th base, about halfway done, building himself into the next level of things. Right now, he's only on stalker. I mean, he has charge done, but he really is only on gateway units. Astrea has moved into Immortals. That does add a lot more oomph to this army. But with +1 versus +0, yes, stalkers just blink on top of things. If you get inside Guardian Shield range, the Guardian Shield does not matter. But maybe SKillous has overstepped himself a little bit here. The second Immortal arrives. We will see the Warp Gate go, or the Warp Prism go down. Stalkers from Astrea blink forward, get yet more of these stalkers. And despite being down upgrades, he finds himself up about 15 army supply. Great fight there from Astrea. So, of course, his 4th base about 50% complete, as SKillous' does complete. But worker count's roughly even. Now, of course, Astrea's attack upgrades are so far delayed that there is this timing that SKillous has right now, where he's actually up 2 upgrades. But it's going to be hard to leverage that because, again, Astrea's doing a great job of preventing his opponent from moving on the map. Zealots in the main base, killing a couple more probes. Zealots in the 4th, denying shield battery, and actually the shield battery in the main died as well. So Astrea, yeah, he's down a little bit in army supply, but he's the one that's up now 11 workers. He's the one that is pulling ahead in terms of just how much money he can suck from the map. What is also interesting is, of course, the fact that Astrea, he's going Blink Stalker Charge Slot, which means he doesn't really, or Blink Stalker Disruptor, which means he doesn't really need his upgrades to be all that quick, which is actually great because, well, SKillous was starting +3 and he was going to be very far behind, but SKillous canceled. I think he wants to commit to a lot of pressure here. You cancel the upgrade, you say, well, okay, that's fine. I'm not going to have that upgrade, but at the very least, I'm going to have a lot of stuff. Stalkers blink forward on both sides. Shield battery 1, actually only shield battery at this base will go down. A couple probes dying as well. Charge done in 7 seconds. In 6 seconds, actually in 2 seconds right now, but a disruptor will pop out towards the end of this fight, but it's behind enemy lines. Disruptor just dead. But a second one, maybe. SKillous, though, his blink is on cooldown, so he's going to move on top of it there. Second disruptor falls. We have more on the way, of course, but that robo, I think, will just die. Yeah, it's only going to be a single disruptor at a time. 7 probes have died. SKillous, he finds himself in this position where he was going to rely on the disruptors to make good fights happen, but he doesn't have them. So now his stalkers are just plain and simply worse, even with a shield battery doing good work. Probes are going to get pulled, but actually stalkers blink in front of them, so they're not even really doing that. That pylon trying to set up stack defense. Well, the pylon is very, very dead. Zealots run forward here. SKillous up about 20 army supply. He's killed off 20 workers as well. Disruptor shot's going to go forward, but yeah, he just blinks on top of it. So Astrea at this point, he doesn't really have dreams. He doesn't have something that he is relying on, something that he is hoping on to give him a victory in this game. He just hopes that his opponent makes a mistake, or that he hopes that he's able to blink so much better that he finds the value. But even with the probes getting pulled, I'm not really convinced. Every time the warp-in cycle happens, SKillous pulls himself further and further ahead. Stalkers now. Disruptor is going to try to kill as many Zealots as possible, and that's really... when the Zealots are more important to kill than the Stalkers, you know life is pain. Straight desperately saying, well, what if I have 2 blinks for every one of yours? Maybe that'll work, but still not enough here. Stalkers move forward, zoning out the Warp Prism. In fact, the Warp Prism, and not just zoned out, the Warp Prism is dead. 17 army supply, 246, and Astrea taps out. Game 1 is not his. It's for the young player from the country of peace, I guess, living in Utrecht. In the upper left, in the blue folks, up 1-0 off of many, many upgrades, doing many good things. He is SKillous. And the bottom right, in the red, folks, it's Astrea. Oh, that was weird. I pressed my Stream Deck button to do intros, but I guess I didn't press it hard enough because it zoomed in but didn't do the rest of the things. That's weird. Anyways, Cosmic Sapphires will be the second map in the series. As we can see, it's here. No one is cosplaying MaxFax once again. Gonna be double gate expand from both players. Skills, though, we talked about the proxy that he did not go for in game 1. Well, game 2, this is going to proxy something. I guess a Stargate based on the tech timings. Could be a Robo, though. And putting a Stargate in the... yeah, okay, there we go. 3-gate Robo on deck for SKillous. He's looking to put Astrea out of his misery rather quickly. Give himself time to prepare to run into the wrecking ball that is Bjorn. Astrea, though, opening with a Stargate defensively, and, well, in the balance of things, Stargate versus Robo is pretty good for the Stargate player. You get Void Rays out, and it's like, well, actually, well, it depends. If this is 2-gate Robo, it's going to be pretty good for Astrea. If it's 3-gate Robo, it's a little awkward, because then you're just warping in Stalkers. A bunch of Stalkers versus the 2 Void Rays that you'll have by the 1 or 2 Voids you'll have by the time the hold happens. It's a little bit awkward. Doesn't work out all that well. So how many gateways do we have? Now, big deal, of course, Astrea scouted this. And it is 2-gate Robo for the moment, so it will be on Immortals, not just the Stalkers, which does, of course, mean that defensive Void Rays are rather nice indeed. But first and foremost, it'll be an Oracle getting chronoed out, because that is a way you can win the game. Even with a shield battery, you can punch right through the energy. So straight, the Oracle is going to look to end the game, while the Void Rays he produces out of this, there we go, are going to look to maintain the game, sustain the game, allow himself to stay alive a little bit. As Adepts will just say, hey, run by, fly by. But 4 Adepts don't kill an Immortal, right? I don't think that is the case. Well, maybe by themselves they do, but not with the Stalkers around him as well. So a second Adept will fall. Oh, no, it won't. Okay, so 3 of the 4 Adepts will stay alive, and now in the main base we will go. Zealot, 3 Adepts, but Stalker's going to get made now. First Void Ray almost down, and the pressure from Skillous starting to arrive in earnest. The pile on the low ground almost guaranteed to fall. But ideally, Astrea is going to look to jump on this army before it has that Warp Prism, before it has that first round of reinforcements, and I think he can. It's only 4 Stalkers, and with the Adepts and the Zealot, I think there's absolutely a fight that he can take, especially if Skillous doesn't target down the Void Ray at first, but a little bit too late, because the Warp Prism arrives now, and Void Ray Prismatic Alignment, it's done. It's not available anymore. At least not for a little bit. But it will go on cooldown. Okay, Stalkers, Immortals moving forward. And remember, Astrea is on 3 gateways, but this gateway at the front should go down. There's really not much. Oh, he lets the... okay, so I think he was trying to snipe the sentry. Now the force field goes down anyways. Vorteray is doing what they can, but it's only 2 of them. We're not quite the alpha of Chads just yet. And now everything on the ground from Astrea is starting to fall. More and more stalkers warp in. A 3rd Vorteray will be out soon. The shield battery is only halfway spent, and by the way, this is in range of shield battery overcharge. Of course, Astrea cannot build as many units as he would like. He's only on 2 gateways to the 3 gates of the SKillous. The Immortal's kind of sitting on the low ground. And, well, the Void Rays... Oh, Void Ray... Oh, okay. Staying alive, just barely. The Void Ray getting very low, but Stalker will fall. That's nice, at least. And the 3rd Void Ray now available to the army of Astrea here, but the 2nd one gets very low. Shield battery overcharge is popped. 2 low Void Rays, 1 full HP one. And the army of SKillous continues to grow and grow and grow. The Oracle got nothing. This is actually kind of fancy. We've dropped stasis traps on the backside, looking to catch something as the army retreats, but there will be no retreat from SKillous in this game because Void Ray number 1 and number 2 are dead. Yeah, the force field is kind of preventing SKillous now from going up into the high ground as he would like, but Astrea is dead as well, and SKillous moves on to the semifinals.